Hi everyone! So today I want to talk about these. I'm sure we all know what these are. It's pretty obvious. Some of us may even use them every day, probably now more than ever because we're in quarantine. But I want to get into how social media affects us on a mental health, psychological well-being level. Just last year in 2019, 72% of Americans have or use social media, according to the Pew Research Center. Social media has created many platforms in order for us to communicate, entertain, lifestyle, exercising, cooking, art, music. You're literally watching this on a social media platform right now, YouTube. Um, so it's very relevant in today's age. I joined social media at 12 or 13 because all my other friends were joining it. It seemed really fun, and I wanted to be able to talk to them outside of school. So I'm definitely addicted. I use it all the time, and it's definitely impacted me positively and negatively throughout the years. I can see within myself. So to understand why social media has impacted us, it's essential to know the usage of digital media, self-image, and the need to belong to an online community. In the past years, many studies find that more frequent users of digital media are lower in psychological well-being. In 2019, Twenge suggests the reasoning behind this is due to positive activities, upward social comparison, and online bullying. Another study by Berryman et al. In 2018 findings suggest that how individuals use social media is far more critical than their time spent online in regards to mental health. So basically it's the mindset that's more important. It doesn't matter how many hours you spend on social media. Do you have a negative mindset or a positive mindset while you're scrolling through your feed? Because if you have a negative mindset, then obviously it's going to affect your mental health a lot more than it would if you had a positive mindset and spent more time on digital media. In a similar way, the concept of self-image comes alive through these profiles, social media profiles, because the self-image through the profiles influences the way that people view you online and how you perceive others, and even in real life it has an impact as well. When creating or uploading content to social media, many people only post the best version of themselves because no one wants to see people posting sad things, or you don't even want to upload, if you're crying or you've had a bad day or a breakdown. Nobody wants to see that, nor do you want to upload that for everyone else to see you had a bad day. This isn't a terrible thing to post your best self, but it does change the way an individual perceives themselves and how others outside of the profile perceive you. Sundstrom has a quote here, I really liked it, is the ideal self is the self we aspire to be. I think of this quote is because that's how you want people to view you on your social media. That's your ideal self you want to put out there to the world, and that's it for that quote. Sundstrom also states, because of this strict control of the way we are viewed, we are often fooled into believing that other people's lives are better than our own, which is not reality at all, because if you're comparing yourself to the best version of everyone, then that's not really reality, because there's a lot more to people than just their social media profile, just their pictures that they post, quotes, whatever. People are a lot more human than that in reality. Another aspect I would like to mention is finding a sense of belonging while using social media platforms. The Kim et al. Study in 2016 has the outcome of students' results show a positive correlation between social media use and desired belonging to a social group. Another study proposed that people who feel excluded and the need to belong or have not met their belonging needs spend more time on Twitter. They log on Twitter, and they follow all these big influencers with lots of followers based on their interest. So they're more likely to log on to Twitter and follow these influencers if they feel like they need to belong somewhere to a social group. My personal experience is I grew up practically an only child. My sister is 11 years older than me. I spent a lot of time online. I would follow these influencers. I still follow them today, that interest me, my favorite celebrities, music artists. I think a lot of us do that because back then it kind of made me feel like I belonged to a larger community than just myself, who also enjoy my same interests and same likes. So I really liked that aspect. I didn't really need a belonging part of it, but I did feel less lonely because I was online and I felt, less by myself. In 2015, Belangi et al. Study demonstrated that those who share a common language viewpoint, the view that connection to others is extremely important for sustaining life, and that one sense of being connected is largely created and maintained by individuals regardless of a physical connection. So kind of what I was saying earlier, I had a connection with those communities that I would follow, and those people, those influencers that I had interest in, obviously. I felt connected to them in a way that you don't really need that physical connection, because you're basically seeing their life online and you get to be involved in it, which I think is really cool, and that's what brings us together as online communities do. As much as social media has grown over the years and continues to grow so widespread, it'll continue to impact people who engage in it daily. It's important to remember how we can influence it along with how it influences us. Social media may be overwhelming at times, especially right now with the pandemic going on, but it's important to know the positive takeaways of it and how to be aware. So thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Have a great rest of your day or night.